Welcome back, everyone. We are going to continue reading in our Sleuth today so we can become, that's right, close readers. We want to be able to take a text, tear it apart, and find all the information inside. So let's get started. Our learning intentions today are we are learning to read closely so we can have a deep understanding of what we read. We know we are successful when we can monitor our comprehension. What am I reading about? Use text evidence to answer questions, and then also we want to be able to ask questions about our text. Today we are reading A Coat of Many Colors. Let's dive right in and make sure you're monitoring your comprehension, checking. Am I understanding what I'm reading? If you're just listening, that's fine too, but make sure you're listening and understanding what I'm talking about. If you're not, you need to pause the video and go back. Life can be tough for some animals. Imagine spending most of your life either looking for food or trying to avoid becoming food for predators. Yet one or both of these tasks are necessary for individuals and species to survive. How does a lion sneak up on its prey without being seen? How can an insect protect itself from birds looking for a tasty snack? How do little fish avoid becoming prey for bigger fish? Whether you are a predator or prey, the ability to seem to disappear into your surroundings is a huge advantage. The word camouflage comes from a French word meaning to disguise. A camouflaged animal takes on the appearance of its surroundings. For example, lions seem to disappear into the tall grass of the savanna, allowing them to sneak up on their prey without being seen. Squirrel fur is rough, uneven, in a gray-brown color. To a hawk or an eagle looking for food, the squirrel looks like tree bark. Some insects have a hard shell that looks like dead leaves or branches. Reptiles, amphibians, and fish are covered in scales. They produce colored pigments called biochromes. These pigments may be in skin cells or in deeper levels of the body. As some animals move from one background to another, they can quickly change color to match, making them nearly invisible. Also, some sea creatures, such as certain species of nudibranchs, change color by changing their diet. Their bodies take on the color of the food of the coral they eat, so they become almost invisible. Imagine what it would be like to possess an ability like that. What about birds, whose coloring is in their feathers? Birds can't change color quickly, but many birds do change color with the seasons. Varying temperatures or hours of daylight cause these birds to grow a new set of feathers on their as the background changes. For example, a bird that's mainly brown in the summer may change to white in the winter. Camouflage abilities develop gradually through the process of natural selection. For example, if an individual animal's coloring closely matches its surroundings, predators are less likely to devour it. As a result, it survives to produce offspring, and these offspring inherit some coloration, so they also live the same coloration, so they also live a long time and pass it on long enough to pass it on. Eventually, the entire species can develop the ideal coloration for survival in the environment. The next time you're outside, look closely at your surroundings. You never know what may be looking back at you. All right, y'all. We are going to be sleuthy today, and we are going to gather some evidence. It says, find information in the text that explains the 3 different ways animals change colors. Let's work backwards. So let's see. We see about camouflage and natural selection and how animals can change color over time. So that could be it. Let's see. Birds says birds can't change colors quickly, but the many birds do change color with the season. So birds get new feathers based on the weather and the lower sunlight. Oh, and then this was a good one. Let's go right here. We'll go way back. Reptiles, amphibians, and fish are covered in scales, and they produce colored pigments called biochromes. These pigments may be in the skin or deeper levels of the body. As some animals move from one background to another, they can quickly change the color, making them nearly invisible. So have you heard about like some animals where they're just able to like blend right in with their background? So they have pigments called biochromes that help them to change. So that's a way that animals change color. And then it says also some sea creatures, such as certain species of the nudibranch, change color by changing their diet. So based on what they eat, and they can blend in with the coral. So they live in the ocean. All right. So, I mean, those are three ways. The birds change their feather color. The nudibranch is based on what they eat. Or the reptiles and amphibians, they have those biochromes in their skin or in their bodies to help them change colors to match their background. Ooh, imagine if you could just blend in and be invisible. What would you do? For text evidence today, I want you to think about the cause for animals' color change. So we are going to start with the nudibranch. What causes it to change color? What did we just say? Let's look back in the text. Some sea creatures, such as the certain species of the nudibranch, change color by changing their diet. And what's their diet? What does diet mean? I'm not going on a diet to they're not trying to lose weight. So what is their diet? It's what they eat, right? So based on what they eat, so they can blend in. So they change color based on their diet, and diet means what they eat. And then we also have birds, and it said that birds change color based on the season, which we discussed as well. So a bird that's brown in the summer might actually turn white in the winter, so they can blend in with their surroundings. And we're also going to talk about text structure today. And remember, that is the way that the author organizes the text. So again, those common text structures are descriptive, sequence or chronological, problem and solution, cause and effect, and compare and contrast. So I want you to think right now in your head, were they describing something? Were they telling me things in order? Were they giving me a problem and a solution? Were they giving me a cause and what happened and why, cause and effect? Or they were telling me how two things were the same and different? What do you think? If you are monitoring your comprehension, you should have an idea in your head. Let's look. So a coat of many colors. Life can be tough for some animals. Imagine spending most of your life either looking for food or trying to avoid becoming food for predators. Yet one or both of these tasks are necessary for individuals and species to survive. How does a lion sneak up on its prey without being seen? How can an insect protect itself from birds looking for a tasty snack? How do little fish avoid becoming prey for bigger fish? Whether you are a predator or prey, the ability to seem to disappear into your surroundings is a huge advantage. So this time, I'm noticing I'm not hearing any first, next, then last. So I don't think that this is a sequence or chronological text structure. They're not telling me about things that are happening in order. So I'm going to cross that one off my mental list in my brain. So then I'm thinking, let's see, well, there's problem and solution or compare and contrast, cause and effect, or description. Cause and effect. Is it telling me what happens and why? Well, kind of so far. It's talking about how animals want to avoid getting eaten, right? So they need to blend in. So maybe cause and effect. Compare and contrast. Is it telling me how things are the same and different? Yeah, maybe. It's told me about the lion and the insect so far. And description. Is it describing anything? Well, yeah, it's describing a lot. It's describing how the animals get their colors. So let's keep going. See if we can narrow this down. The word camouflage comes from a French word meaning to disguise. A camouflaged animal takes on the appearance of its surroundings. For example, lions seem to disappear into the tall grass of the savanna, allowing them to sneak up on their prey without being seen. Squirrel fur is rough, uneven, and its gray-brown color. To a hawk or an eagle looking for food, the squirrel looks like tree bark. Sometimes insects may have a hard shell that looks like dead leaves or branches. So again, as I've been reading, I notice that they're not just talking about two things and telling me how they're the same and different. So I'm going to get rid of compare and contrast. And then cause and effect or descriptive is what I'm really looking at now. Let's go ahead and look and see. It's talking to me about reptiles. So I really think that it's describing animals' coats. So I've decided that this text structure is descriptive. And I went ahead and supported that with one detail already for you. And that's that lions' coats help them blend in with the grass. That's a detail that's supporting this whole descriptive text feature around text structure around the animal coats. We can also see that in the title. It says a coat of many colors. And then it goes into all the details about the animal coats and skins. So the lion's coats help them blend in with the grass. The squirrel's coats help them blend in with trees, right? And then let's see, what else? Reptiles, amphibians, and fish are covered in scales, and they produce pigments called biochromes, and these pigments may be deep in their skin or out, and it helps them to change color quickly to match their environment. So the reptiles I put in have pigments that allow them to change color to match their background, right? And then lastly, let's see, the birds. Remember, the birds have their feathers that change for different times of the year and different seasons to help them blend in. So I said birds' feathers change colors based on the season. So again, all of these details are describing the animal's coats or how they are able to blend in with their surroundings. So I think this text is also descriptive, just like our last lesson, because it is giving all these details about animal coats and skins and how they are blending in. All right, back to our learning tensions for today. So we were learning to read closely so that way we can have a deep understanding of what we read. We are successful when we can monitor our comprehension, so you should have done that while I was reading. Check. Use text evidence to answer questions. So we thought about the 3 different ways that animals change color. Check. And this last one is in your reading response today. So ask questions about the text. That is up to you, my friends. You need to list 2 questions about animal camouflage that you would like to ask an animal expert. All right, that is all for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another, do all of your work, and I will see you guys later. Bye.